I bet. Welcome back to the 20th episode of Toxiris Rates. Today we got some projects, a bit more singles, so let's get right into it. Alright, so we starting off with a track by 22G's called Steppers. The first track that has been released after his Blicky Tape 2 project. And this might be part of the Deluxe that he teased months ago for that project, but I don't know. The track is good. It doesn't have a typical New York drill production. I would say it is more of a Chicago type drill beat or just a trap beat, whatever you want to consider it. It is, anyway, a good track. I really like the hook and overall the energy. One of the better 22G's tracks, but not one of the best. Then the next track we got is 2 Chains by Headie One. Very UK drill type song. That hook is simplistic but good. Overall, good Headie One song. I've heard way better Headie One songs, but I would say from the drill tracks I've heard from him, one of the better ones. Like, not bad at all. Then we get to a track that I wasn't expecting at all. We got Dreams Unfold by Joyner Lucas and Lil Tecca. And I gotta say, Joyner Lucas sounds like everybody but himself on this track, but I kind of like that. And that's not me trying to roast Joyner Lucas. It's just the 50 million flows he has on this. Even though he sounds like other rappers, they just sound good. Tjay does well, but I feel like he isn't really needed on this track at all. I feel like Joyner does the job himself. So yeah, overall, solid track though. I enjoyed it. Then we got Harley Quinn by Chief Keef. I don't know, new Chief Keef will never reach the levels of enjoyment I felt for older Chief Keef. Like, I don't know. From more of his mixtapes and shit, but it is still a pretty enjoyable and like pretty hard and hype track. I can appreciate it for that. It's just, I guess, not for me personally. Then we got Sharing Locations by Meek Mill, Lil Baby, and Lil Durk. I really like that Lil Durk hook, I gotta say. The Meek and Lil Baby contributions to this track are good, but not outstanding. I really only listen to this track for Lil Durk's hook, and the verses are good, but it's just kind of like nothing that brings me back to the track. Then we got the track that everybody was hyped for coming up to this day, and it is Family Ties by Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar. If you don't know, they are somehow related. I think Baby Keem is like Kendrick Lamar's cousin, or like Kendrick is Baby Keem's uncle. I don't know, some like that. I don't know the exact relation, but they are in any way related. And they dropped this track together, and it's kind of a mess, honestly. I feel like how this shit is put together, like there's a beat switch, and there's many flow switches and everything, and I feel like it's just like this track is going up and down and up and down and up and down for me. Like it's there's passages where I'm like, yo, fire, and then there's parts where I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You're ruining the whole track, man. It is kind of, I don't know. It goes up and down, and it's good at parts and very bad at parts. I had a couple listens. Maybe it takes me a couple more to really enjoy it, but I don't know. It's not that great to me. I expected more, honestly, but it's still a good track. Don't get it twisted. It's still a good track overall. With that being said, we get into the projects. First one I'm gonna talk about being Hitler Wears Hermes. I don't know if you say it like that. 8 Sincerely Adolf by Westside Gunn. It's a Griselda project. What do you expect other than greatness? Absolutely good. I would say from the Griselda projects I've heard this year so far, it is one of the worst ones. Just because I like Westside Gunn's voice more than when I first heard him now. But I still have kind of a problem with it at times. I just feel like sometimes it just doesn't really fit the beat or his flow or whatever. I think it could be better. But overall, it's a solid project. It has good features. Of course, a couple like the other Griselda members and a couple Griselda associates. Overall, good project. Would recommend it if you like that Griselda type shit. Then we got GEEZY World by OGZ. I think I've covered every single that dropped before this project by OGZ, and I always said, it's alright, it's good, I guess it's not for me. And that's basically how I can describe this project. The only tracks that really stood out to me and that I really enjoyed were the tracks with features. And the features did their part. A Boogie was great. I didn't expect Central C on a project like this. Still, he did a good job. And YG also was very good on the track he was on, in my opinion. Still a pretty good project. Not for me, I guess. That's all I can say to that. Then we got Freedom Boys Deluxe by 42 Dugg. I've reviewed the full album in an older episode of Toxiris Rates when the album dropped, obviously. I enjoyed that album a lot. More than I expected, because before this album dropped, I didn't really like 42 Dugg at all. But after it, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed him. And I enjoyed the project. And I feel like this Deluxe is a good addition to the track list. I feel like there's, again, way too many tracks now. I think it's now over an hour long and over 20 tracks. But it's still a good project overall. And I think some of the Deluxe tracks really are good and really stand out. Especially the track with Lil Durk. So with that being said, we get into the last project, which is We Love You Tecca 2 by Lil Tecca. The most popular and the most important project of this day. I listened to it, I reviewed it, okay, I left a short review and a ranking on my main channel to it. If you want to check that out, check the main channel in the description. And well, it is a good project overall. After the 5th song, there is a massive drop in quality, and it picks up after that, but it never reaches the quality of the first 5 tracks, which are absolutely amazing in my opinion, and I love them. And in the ranking, they all rank very, very high. I think it has a couple decent tracks after that, but just kind of loses a lot of the magic after that 5th track. And it has 20 tracks, just to give you a perspective. I feel like the song with Trippy and Chief Keef. Chief Keef doesn't sound like Chief Keef on this track. He sounds like Tory Lanez. But he still does a really good job. And Trippy Red, I don't know. This shit sounds like it was meant for Trip at Night, but was just thrown off. But oh well. With that being said, thank y'all for watching, and have a great one.
Remember back then, all them hoes ain't want me. Now I'm ballin', all them same hoes on me. Mama told me that this came with the money and the motherfucking fame, even though I feel the same. I'm that nigga now. I'm that nigga now. I'm that nigga now. I'm that nigga now.